We are the 9/11 Truth movement. For years we've done nothing but tell the world what not to believe, but we have never told you what to believe. Until now. We at the 9/11 Truth movement have only told you what is not the truth. Now, for the first time ever, the 9/11 Truth movement would like to tell you the truth. There are 11 truths that we want all of the world to know are true, so that we can overthrow the government and replace it with total tax-free anarchy, where every rape, theft, and murder is left unsolved, and financial disputes are settled in a fight to the death. Wait, I mean we really care about the justice for the victims. Millions of you have watched our movie Loose Change on YouTube, and have seen all the evidence. The evidence we present cannot possibly be made up, skewed, rumored, or taken out of context. Why is this so, you ask? Because we are 9/11 Truth. If the evidence were false, we'd call ourselves 9/11 Lies. But we are not 9/11 Lies. We are 9/11 Truth. Duh! The first truth that the 9/11 Truth movement wants you to know is true is that the best way to convince Americans to invade Iraq is to blame a fake terrorist attack on people who are not from Iraq. Everyone knows that if you blame people from Saudi Arabia and Afghanistan for killing 3,000 of us, that Americans will naturally want to invade Iraq. The second truth we truthers want you to know is true is that if you want to attack both New York and the Pentagon, your best option is to hijack 3 jets full of known people with existing families, then use only 2 of them for real when the cameras are rolling. But you should make the 3rd plane full of known people magically vanish into another dimension, so you can instead fire a missile over a highway full of rush hour drivers in broad daylight, and hope nobody notices it wasn't a 757. Yes, that would be the wisest and most likely course of action. Simply crashing the plane that was already hijacked would not be as effective or convincing. This is exactly what all our evidence presented in Loose Change supports, and our evidence is irrefutable because our name has the word truth in it. The third truth we truthers want you to know is true is that the New York Fire Department, who told everyone on live television that Building 7 was about to collapse, are evil people who secretly work for Dick Cheney and Halliburton. These evil firemen only pretend to dedicate their entire life to saving people's lives as a cover-up for the fact that they're devoted slaves to Dick Cheney, much like ants serving their queen. The fourth truth we truthers want you to know is true is that the mainstream media and the 9/11 Commission were controlled by Dick Cheney. Now some of you may ask me, why would a media controlled by Dick Cheney tell us that there were no weapons of mass destruction, or that Dick Cheney may have exposed an undercover agent because her husband criticized him, or that Dick Cheney shot an old man in the face because he thought he was a bird? Oh, you mindless sheep are so stupid. Dick Cheney made the media say these things to make him look evil, to distract you from the fact that he is very evil. You may wonder why the 9/11 Commission was grilling Cheney for trying to connect Iraq to 9/11, and Rice for ignoring terror memos from the CIA. They know the best way to appear good is to appear evil. The fifth truth that we truthers want you to know is true is that it is very easy for someone to drill tons of explosives into the walls of every floor of the 2 tallest office buildings in America without a single person catching you. You know, you just gotta tiptoe. The sixth truth we truthers want you to know is true is that if the empty and obscure Building 7 were not destroyed, Americans would not be angry enough at the 3,000 deaths and destroyed Twin Towers to want to go to war. I mean, come on. You just know everyone was thinking, we don't need to go to war over this. And then when that empty building collapsed, America went, okay, now we need to go to war. The seventh truth we truthers want you to know is true is that there was top secret evidence of the conspiracy inside Building 7 that needed to be destroyed and could not be done with a simple paper shredder. They had to destroy the entire building. Building 7 was the perfect place to keep this evidence because the conspirators knew the exact trajectories of debris from the towers would gouge these large chunks out of it, providing the perfect excuse to claim it collapsed on its own. But the conspirators knew those large gouges and huge fires would not actually destroy it, so they needed to preemptively drill explosives into the walls of every floor of Building 7 without getting caught. That's what you'd do if you wanted to go to war. The eighth truth we truthers want you to know is true is that the 500 members of Scholars for Truth, which include experts in psychology, religion, and philosophy, who have told us the planes that hit the towers were actually holograms, are wiser than the 500,000 other scholars and Popular Mechanics magazine who all disagree with them. Why do we know that our 1% of experts have a greater expertise than the other 99% of experts? Because they agree with us truthers, and you can't possibly call yourself a truther if you're not telling the truth. Duh! The ninth truth we truthers want you to know is true is that the witness accounts of loud bangs and fires that people assume were explosions at the base of the Twin Towers perfectly explains why the towers collapsed from the top down. Everyone knows that if you blow up the basement of a tall building, the bottom will stay intact while the top collapses first. The 10th truth we truthers want you to know is true is that the conspirators decided this was all much simpler and easier to get away with than if they just ignored terror warnings, because as everyone knows, nobody in the world wanted to attack America. Remember, the American government is the most evil thing in the world, and nobody hates them but us truthers. There would never be real terror warnings. You see, Condoleezza Rice was just pretending to be caught having ignored fake terror warnings in front of a fake 9/11 commission, because that would make people support Bush and Cheney. The 11th truth we truthers want you to know is true is that even though the government was not successful at planting WMDs on Saddam Hussein, they are still powerful enough to do all of the previously mentioned things. Governments with the power to send jet airplanes full of people to other dimensions are too powerful to exist. We must destroy them. These are the 11 truths of the truthers. 11 truths to be told about the 11th day of September? Coincidence? I think not. Come on, even a child could figure this out. Don't believe the government like sheep. Believe the 9/11 truth movement like sheep. We already presented the evidence years ago all over the infallible internet, but now you know the complete conspiracy. Now go download some Marilyn Manson or Rage Against the Machine and overthrow our government. Do it for us. Do it for the victims. Be sure to spread this video like wildfire. Email it to everyone. Post it on your MySpace page. Place banners for it on highway overpasses. Perhaps with your help, we might even get Barack Obama, Michael Moore, Noam Chomsky, or Ron Paul to believe us. Those bastards still won't return our calls. I would, however, like to thank Charlie Sheen for his support. We know what's really going on because we're smarter than you. We are 9/11 Truth. Don't let the government tell you what to think. That's our job.